I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. You know, bands retire, and they say, we're done. We ain't ever going to do another show. Especially when their last show was in 1939. But racists always get the band back together. But Sweet Potato Hitler and the New Supremacist Tour had a big show at Madison Square Garden this last week. A lot of great acts on that show. We had a radio host who united America by calling Democrats degenerates, Jew haters, and lowlifes. Every one of them.
The whole fucking party, a bunch of degenerates, lowlives, Jew haters, and lowlives. Every one of them.
Kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya. One said Kamala was the Antichrist, and another said Puerto Rico was an island of garbage, and his black friend was carving watermelons for Halloween. Good to see the groundbreaking jokes from the 1850s, which is when the maggots think America was great. Captain Brainworm also was amazing. So, we are 1 week away from the biggest election in our life, and for some reason, the guy who lied from the first time he came down his diseased escalator, he lied about Mexicans, he lied about Obama, he lied about being buddies with Putin.
Well, I don't comment on that, but I will tell you that if I did, it's a smart thing.
He lied 33,000 times in the 4 years he spent driving America into a ditch full of incompetence and stupidity. Then he spun the tires and buried us in a pandemic, empty stores, and we had an unemployment rate of 14%. The stock market dropped in half. Did he get us out of that ditch? Nope. These two did. We have the best economy in the world currently because of these two. But it's our fault, man. We didn't give him enough time to finish.
I have concepts of a plan.
His concept of a plan. Still waiting, TikTok. This moron made farmers lose their farms because this moron does not know what a tariff is because he's a moron. So today, with 1 week left, let's go over the scoreboard on the Trump versus Biden-Harris. Since 2016, when the dumpster fire became president, he has opined about windmills causing cancer while solar is going to ruin the desert. What?
Like
he had an unemployment rate higher than the lifts in his shoes and a moral compass so low, it points his tiny mushroom to porn stars and his own daughter. He's on Epstein's pedo jet manifest 7 times. That's a problem with having a pedophile for your best friend. It kind of rubs off on you, but not as much as the stench of being a civilly convicted rapist who gleefully admits on an open mic that he grabs pussy. Because when you're famous, you can do anything.
You can do anything.
Yeah, he said it. These are the character traits that would make Hannibal Lecter blush, but Hannibal Lecter is imaginary. Except Fat Bastard doesn't seem to know that.
The late, great Hannibal Lecter.
But let's talk about what he did. He called our allies shithole countries. It's un-American. He held back weapons to extort Ukraine to find made-up dirt on Biden. He was impeached. It's un-American. They went after Biden for 3 years. Nothing. Gave 3 United States military bases to the Russians. After abandoning the Kurds, thousands died. He bailed on our allies. He's un-American. One of his best buddies is Vladimir Putin, an enemy of the United States. He's un-American. He stole top-secret classified documents and then lied about them. His home had to be raided by law enforcement. He's un-American. While he had our nation's most sensitive documents in his shitter, he talked to Vladimir Putin 7 times. He's un-American. He negotiated with the Taliban, not the Afghan government. He released 5,000 Taliban terrorists back into Afghanistan after so many of our soldiers died fighting and capturing them. And one of those terrorists killed 13 American soldiers. Un-American. He called those same soldiers suckers and losers. You heard me. He said it. He said it to a 4-star general. He's a stable genius, and he's un-American. He said COVID was a hoax while we stacked dead relatives in trucks. He's un-American. In a country designed as a nation of immigrants, he used Hitler's words and said they are poisoning the blood of our country. Un-American. His mother was an immigrant. Did he forget that? His father was arrested at a KKK rally in 1925, and after Charlottesville, this pillow-fisted, diaper-wearing comb-over refused to denounce the leader of the KKK, David Duke. He's un-American. Said he wants to be a dictator on day one. In this, a free country, that's un-American. On January 6, 2020, he tried to overthrow the United States government and hang his own vice president. He sent a mob. He was impeached again. He's un-American. He said he wants to terminate the Constitution. He's un-American. He took women's rights to their own bodies away. Un-American. He said he would jail reporters who reported the truth about him. He's against the First Amendment. He's un-American. And I could go on and on and on. And the people that support this obese canker sort don't care that he's the most and anti-American candidate in our history. So you go ahead, vote for him. But take those defaced flags off your pickup trucks, the ones with his orange face and vagina neck on them. Because those flags are violating the United States flag code, patriot. And that's un-American, and you're responsible for that. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Fuck!
Guys, don't miss Christopher Titus's brand new comedy special, Doomed to Repeat, and Rachel Bradley's new special, Beauty for Ashes, on tour now. This weekend, November 8th and 9th, Columbus, Ohio. November 10th in Lexington, Kentucky. Then next weekend, November 16th in Derry, New Hampshire. November 17th, East Greenwich, Rhode Island. For more tickets and tour dates, go to ChristopherTitus.com.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Do we have mesothelioma now?
Knock the asbestos out of the building. I will say that after that Armageddon update, I didn't know that was going to come, but I'm an actor, and so as it started to build, I realized that I was really angry about it, and I accessed it, and it got louder.
That was
loud. Yeah, it was intense.
That was method acting. You were really being
blown. I may have a stroke in the middle of this thing. I can feel my head is like, dude, what did we just do?
There's a little blood coming out of your ear.
The problem with acting and my acting training is you don't know. Your body doesn't know you're acting. Your body's fight or flight.
Right,
if you're a good actor, your body doesn't know. I can do a neutral breath.
Yours is fight or fight. Or fight again.
Fight or fight some more. What is it about me? Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Titus Podcast. With me, as always, the lovely bombshell Ray.
What's up, people?
And the Highlander.
That could be the one.
I had scream therapy. I feel chill right now.
Did you really?
I did. I totally. You ever just do that, scream into your pillow or something, and then just you're like, oh, all right, you got everything reset.
I know that plants can understand screams, so that's why that used to be straight.
Yeah,
those plants.
Yeah, I actually. So that was one of our final salvos until the election, guys. You got to vote. Don't just vote. Don't split your ticket. Don't split your ticket. Here's why. A lot of people think the president gets stuff done. And they keep saying about Trump, they're like, oh, he sent me a check. He sent me a check during COVID. No, the Democratic Congress did. He's just signed it. And he found a way. They voted against it. He tried to not send it.
Biden sent checks.
And Biden sent checks too. He just didn't sign his name on them.
Right.
You know why? Because he cares about America, not himself.
Exactly.
So, again, I back up everything I said in the Armageddon Update. The dude is so un-American. And I think anybody that follows him is un-American. I mean, you've convinced yourself that you're a patriot, but what are you fighting for?
Yeah.
Like I'm serious. I'd like to know, what are you fighting for?
At this point,
you're fighting for no health care because he said he's going to get. There was a video that came out today that him and Mike Johnson are going to kill health care. They said it. They said it out loud. They're going to kill the ACA. They're going to shut down Social Security and Medicare. That's in Project 2025. They're going to ban trans people, Project 2025. They've said what they're going to do, and you guys are like, that's my guy. And I just...
Elon Musk just came out and said how they're going to tank the economy on purpose. He
said that he goes Trump's economic plan will kill the economy, but people need to have. We should bring the quote up, babe. But people do need to have. Americans do need to have a time of hardship.
Wait. Okay, so for thousands of years,
when a 200 guy with $200 billion goes, Americans need some hardship,
economic hardship.
Yeah, it needs some economic hardship. Okay. Do we? Do we really? Okay.
Says the guy who was smashing the fucking Cybertruck window, who's been like kind of bullshitting his whole way through his like products.
100% bullshit. He got me. He got me. Musk got me.
Yep.
I'm trying to save the environment. If we don't do the planet's going to die. We need to switch to he made it. He's kind of a grifter, which is funny. Like do you understand how these people that follow these guys, they follow them because they're rich. We've become this success, fame, money, ass kissing society. I guess it's always been like that. But Elon Musk and Donald Trump, Elon Musk he has $200 billion. He offered $7 billion to the UN if they had a plan to cure hunger, and they sent him a plan. And he didn't. They're like, here. We're gonna. There's where the $7 billion is gonna go. And he was like, yeah, no.
Nah, I'm gonna buy Twitter.
Yeah. Let me buy Twitter and fuck that up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna spend $44 billion on Twitter, and now it's worth $9 billion.
We always talk about how nobody, pays attention to history, and thousands of years of human beings and countries. The independent countries have tried different forms of government, and here we are. With two rich guys are going to redo our government.
Right.
oh, you're going to redo this government and you're going to kill it first.
Right.
We're all going to suffer. Got it.
No, they want to.
So-
He's going to be on the. He's going to be in the cabinet.
He's going to oversee the efficiency of
He said he could cut
something.
$2 trillion.
He said he'll put him in charge. Trump will put Elon in charge of government efficiency, is the direct quote.
Is that a thing?
No,
Like, isn't it the budget office? Wouldn't that be the budget office?
it doesn't even say financial efficiency. It just says of all the cabinets that they're efficient.
You know what that's code for? That's code for control every aspect of the government. Because
the camps are quite efficient. Everyone has exactly 30 meters of
actually-
space, and we will in the ovens are very, very efficient.
He said government efficiency
It's a
of
pizza
government
oven.
agencies. That's how vague it is.
Mhm. that's all
Oh,
of them.
well, that you know what that is? That's actually a concept of a plan.
So Elon being
That's actually a concept
the
of
world's
a plan.
richest man,
Terrible
although I think that negates Putin and other people who just don't report
Right.
what they have, said that they had a virtual town hall on X on Friday. When asked about tackling the nation's debt, I guess he said that he would change the tax code. Did you see this?
No, to what?
Yes. He discussed getting rid of taxes altogether, which
Elon Musk or Trump?
Trump went on to say there.
Huh?
Yes.
How do we pay for roads and shit then? How does
Feudal
he feel-
system.
How does he?
Well, what he's doing right now is just promising everything to get elected, and then he'll
It's
just
a Simpsons
Yeah.
episode.
go about
it's
his
little
business.
Mayor Quimby promising everything.
Railroad,
We'll
what was
go.
that?
Yeah. Railroad, monorail,
Monorail.
So Elon did say most important. He said there would be financial difficulty imposed on some Americans if Trump wins. He said, most importantly, we'll have to reduce spending to live within our means. He's telling people.
So the
He
$200
said
billion
that-
dollar guy is telling you you're going to have to live within your means.
He says that this will involve some temporary hardship for Americans, but will ensure long-term prosperity.
But that's what Biden has. I was thinking about yesterday. Just so you guys know, people keep thinking. You know, I keep hearing this economy's not doing well. The Economist. It's actually the magazine called The Economist,
Yeah.
which is about the economy, says that we are the envy of the world.
Mhm.
It said what Biden did. Remember, he kept saying, "We're going to build from the middle out."
Mhm.
Well, he did that. Bridges, roads,
Yes.
hospitals, schools. So what's happening is all those construction workers are making money. They're just saying they were just doing a report on what they think the Christmas season is going to be the most heavily spent on in the last 5 years. So what it's bullshit. Like, he's been saying the economies. You can always tell when Trump's lying. And Rachel pointed this out. She said he gets really slow.
He gets lazy.
He gets lazy.
He talks because that's where he's most comfortable. He was doing it today, talking about Biden's apostrophe gaffe, where he said Donald Trump supporters. Have you seen this?
No.
It's getting a lot of blowback today, and Trump is talking about it in North Carolina. Biden trails off often
Yeah.
now, especially,
Into
and
the
has a
sunset.
stutter, and he starts a sentence and he trails off and he ends it. I'll look up the direct quote, but what's disgusting, only thing I see that's garbage is Donald Trump's supporters trails off, picks up a different sentence. Now, in the White House transcript, there's an apostrophe at supporters. He was going to say, supposedly, Donald Trump's supporters' opinions or thoughts or jokes, whatever he was going to say about the Tony Hinchcliffe's joke. And so it's a whole thing now. So Trump right now is speaking in North Carolina.
So they can
saying
call anybody
that
else garbage. They can
he's
say
finally shown how he and Kamala feel. Oh, actually, he said Crooked Joe and Lion Kamala.
LY
and
apostrophe.
Kamala.
I'm telling you right now that what they said is not good. It's not good. It's bad. And my vocabulary is good. It's not bad.
So the other news outlets,
I have many
he said
words.
you can't lead America if you hate Americans. And I just thought,
Wait, so why don't we play that back to him?
Do you understand the balls it takes to say that?
So it comes down to an apostrophe. It's the apostrophe catastrophe.
Doesn't Biden know about the weave? He should just put the
Do the weave.
Just
Do
put
the
the weave
Trump
in there, man.
Biden's been weaving for a bit now.
Yeah,
But again, I watched him do this last week. He did a speech. Did I talk about this last week about the Navajos so the Indian American Indians? He was awesome. He was great. He was very clear. He apologized to. It took a little bit late, a little less than it needed to be, but he apologized to the American Indians, and he said we apologize for what we did. So I looked it up. I read about it. So what we had done to the Indians, we talked about this, right?
Mm-hmm.
On the podcast.
Native Americans.
Do we talk about what they did? The school thing? The boarding school thing?
We have before, but not last week. You just talked about his speech.
So I didn't know we did this, but we took every kid that we could from Indian reservations, and this is a long time ago, and put them in boarding schools to take their culture out of them. And if they spoke their Indian language, their Native American language, if they did anything for their culture, danced, whatever, they were beaten, whipped, some of them locked in closets.
I'm sorry, what year was this?
This is in the 1900s.
This is in this century.
1900s, yeah. And someone else, there's a dentist out there going, it was actually 1863. It was after the Civil War. We were trying to do when no longer we were fighting each other. We started to fight the people that lived here first. Thank you. So he apologized for that. So what they tried to do is they invaded a country, took over the country, and then tried to make everybody who lived there when they got there be the people that be the invaders. Learn and it was and the apologize
19th and 20th centuries.
Yeah, yes, I was right. Hey,
and then named them a name for a country where they weren't actually standing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good job, Columbus.
So his mistake.
Missed that whole sea.
No, India is really close to America. Isn't it right there?
Here,
it's like right. It's America, India. He just missed it by that.
There
much.
was no TV or social media, so he just wrote a letter that got back to England 100 years later that said, "I found India," and the Indians
after they were all like,
love me.
Do you know people don't understand that? Do you know people don't get this like that? They don't get. I've been hearing it my whole life, and even I find myself saying it. That basically Columbus thought he found the country of India. Wrote a letter that said, "I found the Indians," and the Native Americans were like, "What are you talking? What?"
They're like, "That's way over there."
Actually, Wikipedia says that the Native American boarding schools were established mid 17th century, all the way to early 20th century.
So, how many hundreds of thousands of Native Americans did they, and they said kids disappeared?
It was in the late 19th and early 20th that the government started paying church denominations to provide basic education to Native American children on the reservations, and then later established its own schools there. That was when the government got involved. It got
way worse.
You could say that. Yes.
So Biden does this amazing speech. So, and I watched it, and I'm always waiting for, he's 81. You can't get around it. You just can't get around it. He's 81, 82, whatever. I watched the speech and I'm like, this guy knows exactly what he's saying, knows exactly how he's saying it, knows what he's supposed to say. And then I watch Dump and I'm like, you're not the weave. I love that they had to come up with something they came up with a new name for Alzheimer's. It's the weave. Yeah. It's the weave.
I mean, you and I see differently. I think you don't want to see, but I would say that there's something wrong. There's 100%. Something going on. Because Grandma Jean was almost 90 and she was like
she played
so
cards
fast.
So before the week she died, she played cards
talked
with us.
Pure smack to you and held her own. I mean, it was not that. Sometimes you're watching and like, say something. They should,
Do you think his stutter could have gotten worse because he's older now and his brain?
It's not
your brain
just
does
a
slow
stutter.
down.
There's a very blank look in his face sometimes. There's something going on, I would say. Okay. But I love him and I think he did an awesome job. And I think we need to let him ride off into the sunset like he wanted to do many years ago.
His presidency will be studied. They were talking today. The Economist said we are the envy of the world with our economy. We are the envy of the world with our stock market. We are the envy of the world across the board, and except for healthcare, which other 32 out of the 33 countries that are industrialized like us have figured out, but we just can't unlock the fucking door.
Socialism.
So we now have, so this whole Armageddon update was about, I'm gonna listen, guys. I get that I beat the shit out of how bad this guy is. I have told you his failings, and we kind of came up with last week that there's nothing anybody's gonna say. It seems if you like him, you don't care if he killed a baby. Yep. You don't care if he killed and raped a baby. You don't care.
He said that.
Yeah,
he said it.
Even if he says it on TV, yeah, he said it. He said it on a baby food commercial, and you're still like, okay, yeah, he's still my guy. Yeah, fake news. That's okay. So I get it. I get it. No matter what he does, you're going to vote for him. But you call yourself patriot, and when I started to go down the list of things he's done, from abandoning our allies, and my cousin fought with the Kurds because of Turkey, because of Erdogan. Is it not Erdogan? Yeah, Erdogan in Turkey. He basically made a deal with Erdogan. He pulled our troops out, and then the Kurds got slaughtered. Remember that? Remember that report they took out? So he bailed on our allies on a deal that we had already made with them to fight with them. My cousin said, quote, they were great people. And he goes, Christians. And he goes, and we screwed them. He said, motherfuck them, is what he said.
That's sort of on brand for us.
So he screwed our allies, which is un-American. He negotiated with terrorists, which we don't do, with the Taliban and not the Afghani government. And then the deal was they released 5,000 Taliban fighters who our soldiers had already caught and put in jail, released them. And they headed towards Kabul. And that's why all that hell broke loose. Trump negotiated with the terrorists. He didn't talk to the Afghani government. Karzai had to leave Afghanistan. So that's un-American. He's best friends with our biggest worldwide enemy, Vladimir Putin, who is basically on the daily fucking attacking our social media. He shut down, they said the Russians shut down the grid or the oil pipelines, whatever. And so he's negotiating with a country that hates our guts and wants us to end that. And not negotiating, he's buddies with the guy and calling him while he has top secret documents. That's un-American. He wants to date his daughter. That's just inhuman. But the un-American stuff called soldiers, suckers, and losers, like everything that you patriots, you Silverado with lift kit truck driving patriots say you believe in, he wants to get rid of the Constitution that you guys hold dear. Do you think that this guy is not going to step in if he wins and take your guns? You kidding me? Because I'll tell you what, once these people who consider themselves patriots see what he does in his second term, if he gets elected, you're going to go for your guns and he's going to come get them.
He said it all, though. But then when he says stuff like that, they say, oh, he's just joking.
Yeah, but why?
He's just kidding.
He's just kidding. I'm going to be a dictator on day one. If
Biden said we need to get rid of the Constitution, holy moly.
They did it. They said a comedian said Puerto Rico was garbage and no one called him on it. And Biden says, I think some people that believe this guy are garbage. And all of a sudden, oh, he hates everybody. He's garbage. Remember when she said deplorables, basket of deplorables? That's
what they're relating it to.
Right, basket of deplorables.
He's saying he came out right away and said, that's not how I meant that. He said, the only garbage I see is his supporters. Then he cuts off the sentence, starts a new one. And if you read the transcript, the White House transcript, there are like 5 I's with dashes. I mean, the whole thing reads a little stuttery.
But do me a favor. Why don't we be honest about this? Yeah. Here's the thing. We're in a political fight and everything gets all weird and fucking mealy mouth in a political fight, right? Yeah. But the problem is that never works. So if your family got here on a boat 200 years ago and you don't think these other people who walked 1,200 miles carrying a kid and a fucking grocery bag full of clothes doesn't get the same shot your ancestors had, then you're not an American.
And a country that we basically stole. You know what I'm saying?
Basically.
We didn't. Still. All right, I'd say it.
If Biden can apologize to the Native American community, well, first of all, Biden knows how to apologize because he's like a normal human being.
He's a normal human being, yes.
And Trump was asked to apologize for the floating garbage on behalf of Tony Hinchcliffe, and he wouldn't do it.
They just denied it.
And he has he never apologized for anything, and he never takes responsibility. That he's also said for anything. Yeah.
No. They asked him in the middle of COVID, 5,000 a day are dying, and they said, how would you rate your presidency right now? And this is after the unemployment hit 14%, and he goes, A plus maybe.
They just asked him about a month ago.
A plus maybe.
They asked
That's
him
me
when he was
talking to my math teacher.
campaigning, what would you do differently? And he said nothing. But then Kamala, they asked her how she would differ from Biden, and she didn't directly answer. And then he attacked her. It's mind-boggling how you watch him do and say things, and then when she or Biden do it, it becomes this whole big explosion.
But
oh my gosh.
He's a fan of Hitler. I mean, for early on in 14 and 15, they were talking about how he had Mein Kampf. That was one of his books. And Goebbels, Hitler's publicity guy, basically was saying, and which is I think Bannon right now, basically said, always accuse the other side of what you're doing. Always accuse the other side of what you're doing. And Trump does that all the time. Also, deny everything.
Yep.
Deny everything. Always say, if you tell a lie long enough, it becomes the truth.
Discredit the media.
Discredit the media. It's always the media's fault. And that's another thing too. So he has said repeatedly that he's going to jail journalists. He's going to put in jail people that report the truth about him. Said it. Said he's doing it.
We covered it last week.
You're talking about Putin, right? Putin?
Putin? No, Trump. Trump said this. Yeah, sorry. We're on our dictator, not their dictator. Let's talk about our dictator.
Okay, gotcha.
So that's the First Amendment. So all you patriots who are out there talking about Constitution, man, I follow the Constitution, man. Constitution, Second Amendment, First Amendment, I can say what I want, censorship. He's going to put people away who he just doesn't agree with what they reported. Yeah, that's un-American. You can't call yourself patriot. If you follow this asshole, you can't call yourself a patriot. You can say, I like him. You can say, fine, vote for him. But you can't sit there and say, I stand for America. Because if you stood for America, you'd understood what the rules of America are, what the tenets of America are, what we set America out to be. And he doesn't.
Yeah. I mean, tinfoil hat time. I'm convinced.
Yeah. Okay. And now it's tinfoil hat time with Highlander.
I'm convinced that he is a Russian Trojan horse. Now I'll take my tinfoil hat off.
Okay, because we're a podcast and it doesn't matter because we're not journalists, as we've seen for many years.
Maybe not officially,
although we're right. We're right a lot of the times.
We have predicted a lot of.
Can we go down this road for a second? Because so Trump and Putin have been known each other since 1987. They started grooming Trump in 1987. Yep. And you can look this up, guys. Look it up. By the way, you have a computer.
As we said last week, he tweeted in 2013, I'm taking the pageant to Moscow. I wonder if Putin will become my new best friend.
Right, which is where supposedly... So here's what I think. So why in the midst of a presidential campaign, you're trying to become the president, right? Why wouldn't you flat out deny, whether it's true or not, flat out deny that you knew Vladimir Putin? Why wouldn't you just flat out go, I don't know him, I don't like him, he's the worst?
Yep.
Even if you're friends with him, because you're in the middle of a campaign and it's probably one of the most un-American things you could do. Instead, they said, Bob Woodward's book comes out and says that during the time that Trump had thousands of classified documents in his shitter at Mar-a-Lago, thousands of documents, he talked to Putin 7 times on the phone.
Yep.
Now, first of all, don't we have a crew that monitors that?
Seriously.
Don't we have somebody with all the shit that's gone down with Trump? Don't we have a guy who goes, hey, guy, he's on the phone with Putin again? Don't we have anything? Isn't there a satellite pointed at Mar-a-Lago that just goes, who's he talking to now?
That's more times than Melania. Well, that's more time. Of course,
Melania hasn't talked to him 7 times.
You know the Kremlin has the transcript.
Right. So here's what I think. Here's my ready, and now it's tinfoil hat time. Tinfoil hat time with Titus. Tinfoil hat time with Titus. So I think that since 87, I mean, this is where the Steele documents came out, getting peed on and stuff.
That went away.
It went away because there was no definitive proof and Russia denied it. But here's the thing.
If you use bleach, you can get rid of the pee.
If Trump has known Putin, we do know that we found out that he did promise him Trump Tower Moscow, the penthouse. He promised him. So if Putin has everything on his enemies, and he's been grooming Trump since 87, would it be it would be insane to think that he doesn't have some fucked up information on Trump, wouldn't it? It'd be stupid to think that Putin doesn't have some shit on Trump. And we were talking about Helsinki. So you ever notice when Trump and Putin are together, Trump looks at the ground? Do you ever notice that Trump is never like, this my bro. You know, when you're with your friend, like when you and I are hanging out, we're just talking shit to each other.
Yeah.
Trump doesn't do that.
When Trump is normally trying to posture like,
he's Mussolini.
This whole thing.
He Mussolini's the shit out of the room.
But not when Putin. Not with
Putin.
Putin.
No, he doesn't. He looks at the ground, and Putin's like, what, 6 inches shorter than he is.
His hands shrink?
My prediction is, and why Trump is so subservient to Putin, was the word used earlier today, is that I think Putin has enough shit on Trump with money they've given, and it's my opinion. I think he has enough shit on him that he's running Trump like a puppy.
Yes.
And I think that Trump is going to do whatever he has to do. He didn't even talk shit. So they called him on it at an interview. They're like, Woodward's book said you talked to Putin 7 times, and Trump doesn't say, fuck no, not in a million fucking years. I'm running for president. Why the fuck would I talk to Putin? That's what a normal human being says.
Exactly. A normal president running for, a normal person running for president would not say, I was talking to the enemy.
You're like, hey, fuck that. I'm going to fight you. That's what you'd say. I'm an American. I would not talk to Putin.
Hold on, let me take my kitten heels off. Beat your ass.
Let me take my lift out and I'll stab you with it. So instead, Trump goes, I'm not going to talk about that. And if I did talk to him, wouldn't that be a good thing? That's what he said in the interview. This is on TV. And that's why that anybody else, any other candidate in my lifetime, that clip comes out and said, you're not going to tell us that you talked to one of our biggest enemies, and that if you did talk to him, it's probably a good thing. The guy we're currently actually giving the people he's fighting weapons to fight him. Anybody else. This is what I don't understand. And I understand that people aren't going to switch their opinion at all. For whatever he does, again, kill a baby, whatever. They're not going to change it. What I don't understand is why. He's not a man. He's a pussy. He's not smart. He's a failure at everything he's tried. He's got enough money in the bank because his dad gave him $400 million. He's up to his ass in loans. He has about $2 billion in loans. He made $2 billion at the presidency. He golfs. I don't understand why.
I don't see. There's usually some sort of leadership qualities we see in our leaders. I don't see fucking any, except for the Goebbels thing and the Hitler.
Also,
okay,
just
there it is.
The way he looks. Usually, good-looking people pull a lot off, right?
Right.
But he's
Gavin.
normalized.
Gavin will pull some shit off.
Yeah, but Gavin's got to stop using his hands.
She did a Galvin mime thing.
I can't handle it. But he's normalized like cat piss cotton candy toupees and
makeup.
He's orange and makeup. That night he came home all sad and dejected when he was running against Biden, and the collar of his shirt was just covered in orange makeup. And he's fat. It's like there's nothing redemptive about him at all. He's not kind.
Nope.
He's not charitable.
Nope.
He's not educated. It's I don't know. This episode brought to you by Lumen, something much happier than what we're talking about right now.
Something that keeps you kind and you're not fat.
Those are not guaranteed.
And you're
not guaranteed. You got to do it. It'll help you.
Lumen is the world's first handheld metabolic coach. So we've talked about this. It's a device that measures your metabolism through your breath. I do my measurement every morning.
Health kazoo.
Without fail. That's what Tony called it. He called it a kazoo, and I changed it to a
fitness kazoo.
Fitness kazoo.
Fitness kazoo.
You use it with the Lumen app, and that's how you see what your score is for that day. And it does sort of start to become competitive with yourself. Like you want to you want to improve your flex score every week. And
you still using it?
Let you know when you do in your measurement if you're burning fat or carbs or a combo of both. And then after that measurement, we'll give you tailored guidance for your day, your nutrition plan, how, it tracks your workouts, your sleep, helps with stress management. It tracks all of this stuff, and it takes the guesswork out of what or how you're supposed to eat that day.
And what's the point of this? Well, the point is that what it does is it actually takes your breath. Even this, again, I'll say it again. There's machines like in Rocky IV when what's his face Drago was running with the thing on his face and tubes.
Yep.
It's a thing about it's about half the size of that, and you breathe into it, you breathe through it, and then you breathe back into it. And here's what it does. It gives you all these measurements, and it then gives you a program. And it's weird because Ray and I, what it starts to do is based on your breath, whatever's in your breath, it actually adjusts your fats, carbohydrates, and proteins to eat. Now,
and then gives you food suggestions.
Yes.
Too.
And it also does something that because we've been told some carbs are bad. We've been told fat is bad. We've been told all this stuff.
Yeah.
Lumen is scientifically based. That's not the truth. The balance, how you balance it is good or bad. Ray, so sometimes it's a high carb day, and you're like, it'll give you like 260 carbs, like grams of carbs, like holy, and even and you trained and I've trained, like we're like,
I can't eat them.
There's no way.
Carbs.
I mean, what I gotta eat.
I did it last week. I got how many did I get?
255,
190, but then I worked out and it added.
Oh, added right.
Yeah, like 2 something. And I thought, the old me would not do it, but this thing has.
You're gonna be a tub the next day.
I will stay. This device has changed my life.
Yep.
And I tell everybody that. And it's weird because last night I went out to dinner with the girls, and there was a conversation about how everybody here is on Ozempic now.
Oh,
and around the same time that got huge, I started using Lumen. And so my friend Kelly was like, wait a minute, are you? And I was like, no. So I did a whole Lumen ad at the table. I don't know if they believe me or not, because every chick in LA lies about being on Ozempic. But for me, it helped me lose weight. If you have optimal.
Here's the thing. She actually.
So I ate all those carbs.
All those carbs, and she was complaining. She's like, I'm full. I can't do it. I got to do it next day.
Lost 2.5 pounds.
Shit.
I have no idea.
And I had the same experience too. Where I like, all right, I'm doing what it says, and I know it's going to be wrong.
Yeah. See, now if you are on a diet plan, right? Let's say you're going to be I'm going to lock in January 1st. Boom, here we go. Fitness program, everything.
Yeah.
You will never know exactly what you're going to eat that day, and then the next day.
It changes every day.
That's the thing that this
does.
It
is specifically tailored to what your body is doing. So last week I got all those carbs because I woke up in a state of fat burn 4 days in a row.
Dude.
And then they give you a boost day.
It does feel like a victory, doesn't it?
Yeah,
fat burn day.
I finally got a 1, and I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, but you don't always want to be burning fat when you measure. So if you measure before a workout or right after a meal, you should be burning carbs.
Yeah.
That's when you need to be. So I don't know. You guys, having optimal metabolic health would translate into a lot of different benefits, like weight management, easier weight management for all 3 of us, improved energy level, fitness results, better sleep, everything. We all have lost weight. I lost 10 to 11 pounds.
I was down 9 and then I'm up 2, but I know why.
But you changed your goal too. You changed it to a fitness goal.
And then I went past what it told me a couple of times.
So you're at 7 pounds?
I had a couple, I'm at 7 pounds, but I went and here's the thing. I know why my weight went back up.
Right.
Because I went past the number. I went past the number a bunch.
You lost.
Oh, man, the first 2 weeks, I think I lost 6 pounds.
Yeah. I went and changed my goal after that from weight loss to one of the 3 fitness goals.
Yeah.
So if you want to take the next step in improving your health, go to lumen.me/Titus. You'll get 15% off of your Lumen. That's lumen.me/Titus. You'll get 15% off your purchase. Thank you, Lumen. Because honestly, I tell people this all the time. It sounds fanatical, but this thing it's changed my life.
I want to add this point to this because we know that, and I don't think a lot of people know this, but your diet is like 70% to 90% of your fitness.
Yes. Yeah.
So this is a good investment if you're going to really treat yourself to something for, the new year or the holidays or whatever.
This for Christmas.
Get this.
Yeah.
This is going to help you more.
Lumen for Christmas, great idea.
This is going to help you more than, what any other like
what I
weights or a treadmill.
I just know.
What I figured out is when I was training for a fitness competition, I had a coach.
Yeah.
And every week I would have to send him pictures and I would have to answer all these questions. And then he would tweak for that week, take this tablespoon of peanut butter out, cut these carbs to 20 grams, whatever. I basically have Kim Odo in my purse now. My fitness kazoo in my purse. I could compete without, I would just change my goal.
Right.
Because there is that.
And if you stick to it, which I have in a couple of days, which if you stick to it, you drop weight. It's no fucking around.
Yeah.
And by the way, here's the thing. You can't, we've been blindly trying to lose weight based on bullshit for so many years. Now I've got something that analyzes my where my body is, tells me what I need, and I lose weight. You've got to have the information if you want to make the right decision. And that's what this podcast is about. So I've given you all the information in the Armageddon updates. Nothing we've talked about on the show that Trump has done has been made up.
We are like the political lumen.
We are. Yeah.
We've given all the facts and the data.
We don't want to be. We want to talk about the world, but we have literally a fucking menace. He's a chaotic menace, and everybody's kind of like, I'm stunned at when I see people go, oh, it's all made up. Both sides. Oh, shut up, man. Both sides do it. Actually, no, they don't. Because when he was here, we had 5,000 people a day dying during the pandemic. Before the pandemic, farmers went bankrupt. Tariffs fucked everything up. Do you guys know the depression was caused by the Smoot-Hawley tariffs? Yeah, look it up. So the Great Depression, one of the worst decade we've ever had in American history, besides the Civil War time. That was only 4 years. But the worst decade we ever was created because of tariffs, and Trump wants to put tariffs on everything. So we give you the information that's true. Everything I talk about, he did. Everything. We have video. We've shown you video of him saying, if she wasn't my daughter, I'd be dating her. We put the filing where he got sued for raping a girl when she was 13 with Epstein in the room. Like it's like everything we've talked about happened. And the crazy denial is, I listen, if the guy, I get it. If the guy economically, he's a crazy psychopath, but economically he's fucking through the roof. Like economy kicked ass.
Yeah.
It didn't.
If there was something.
That's what I mean. None of it was good.
Yeah, none of it was good.
I bang my head against the wall every week and say, he was already in office. He already didn't do the things that he's campaigning saying he will do. Yeah. He already lost.
He has concepts of plans.
He lost because he didn't do the things he's saying he will do. If elected, I promise to. You were already, you didn't fix the border. You didn't make an infrastructure plan. You didn't fix healthcare.
You didn't build a wall. You
crimed a lot and made a lot of money and talked a lot of shit and pissed a lot of people off and kissed a lot of dictators' assholes, but you didn't do any of the stuff that you're saying if elected you'll do.
We had great letters. It was amazing. It was amazing, the letters we had.
Crazy.
So what we're going to do...
The whole like both sides thing, like the fact that the media is like sane washing Trump and bringing him up to a closer normal level to Kamala Harris
and taking her down when she's really the most accomplished candidate we've had she's more accomplished than Obama is.
Yeah, and the fact that people are saying, oh, both parties are, I don't like either one of them. I'm like, yeah, okay, we know that. It's like what Churchill said. Churchill said, democracy is shit. That's exactly. Democracy is bollocks. Whatever. Democracy is bollocks. That sounds like
democracy is shit. Yeah. Did he really say that?
Yeah, he said democracy sucks, but it's the best one we have. Which is right because
the system of democracy sucks, but it's the best thing we have.
Yeah, so of course we're not like we know that the Democrats aren't going to be perfect. Left wing isn't going to be perfect. Or the right wing.
You're doing it now too. Wait, you're doing it right now. This whole
democracy is the worst form of government, except for all the others.
There you go.
Okay,
that was rough. You were in the stadium of some shit. Churchill said you were in vision. Like you could see it in the distance. Yeah, Churchill said some shit about some other shit, and it was right. And you're right. Yeah, you're right.
He also said, "Never give in. Never, 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 never. In nothing, great or small, large or petty.
It was English.
Never give in except to convictions of honor and good sense."
So democracy, but again, Trump is anti-democracy. He's pro-dictator. He's anti-American. He's un-American. Yeah. And these people who wrap themselves against the flag code in the American flag continue to call themselves patriots, and I'm going to call you out. I don't give a shit. It's an election. I'm going to call you out. He fucked up every day. Every day he fucked up. He fucks up. He says crazy shit every day. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And again, you have a guy at that debate going, we've talked to the local police, the local mayor, and none of this has happened. There's no reports of this. Yeah. Well, that's what I read.
Eating the dogs. Speaking of that, this episode brought to you by a new company called Ollie. This was actually a tie-in that he did yesterday via text that I thought was
very nice,
quite amusing.
Good, okay.
So Ollie is a clean, fresh nutrition your dog needs. They have 5 flavors that they absolutely love.
Oh, you started them on.
It's real, whole foods, minimal processing. It's a good choice for this guy's health.
All right, Poochie, tell him what you think.
Poochy's going to do this ad now.
Poochie say awesome.
Poochie
say...
It's whole foods.
Ollie pretty good. So far, Poochie been eating Ollie. Poochie love Ollie. Ollie very good. Poochie poops better. Poochie feel very good.
What about the taste, Groucho?
Oh, Poochie very, very picky about what Poochie eat. Poochie like to say, Ollie, it's so good.
Do you like the fresh beef with sweet potatoes? Fresh turkey with
Poochie
blueberries?
love that.
Fresh lamb with cranberries?
Poochie said Poochie favorite.
Oh. You can get expert recommendations. They basically crunch the numbers. They'll recommend the right recipes and portions specifically for your little guy. Then you get a starter box for any first timers. They're going to send out the first box with 2 weeks worth of meals and a guide of how to gradually switch them over. Because especially Yorkies, you don't want to switch them right away because they get stomach upset.
Sometimes Yorkie's got a little bit, what do we call a riot?
Diarrhea?
In the colons. Colon riot is not good.
And then they offer 3 meal plans that you can choose from. So you can choose the full fresh plan, a fresh topper plan, or a mixed plan that has freshly baked recipes for your poochies. They also sell treats and supplements. Go on their website and check it out. Groucho gives it 5 paws up, right?
And he's picky.
He's very
So
picky.
she came up, she's coming up and she's going, hey, Poochie, you wolfed it down. Sometimes this dog will go through this phase. Abbott used to do that. Our other dog, Abbott, used to do this, where he would eat fine and then he would get mad or whatever and he wouldn't eat. Remember? He did the same thing he loved the day before.
He would just stop and never eat it again.
This stuff, he hasn't done that. He's like, good, let's go. So
well,
it's good.
Because I've had with other foods, I've had Chaplin's back will get very, very dry. He gets really bad allergies from certain foods and stuff. And I find that when you feed him, right? That when you feed him.
I gotta talk about food, Dad. Let me give my opinion about this food, Dad. Pretty good food, Dad. That's good. Of course, again, I like a lot of food, but this food extra.
So right now, Ollie is offering a fantastic deal to let your dog taste test a personalized meal plan. Go to ollie.com. Tell him all about your dog. They'll ask you a lot of questions. Use code Titus. You'll get 60% off your first box of meals when you subscribe today. That's OLLIE.com. Enter code Titus. You're going to get 60% off of your first box. They offer a clean bowl guarantee on their first box. So if you're not completely satisfied, you can get your money back. I think that's if your dog's not completely satisfied.
Yeah.
You get your money back.
How would you know?
Oh, you'll know.
You'll know.
We are a week away. I need you guys to vote.
Supreme Court just ruled.
Oh, this is horrible.
Oh, no.
Yes.
They're allowing Virginia to purge suspected non-citizens from their voter registration
So
rolls.
there's a box you either check. It's either the box says, "I am a non-citizen." If you check that box, non-citizen, you're taken off. Even if you're eligible to vote, you're taken off the rolls. I think
they issued this decision
if
without
you don't check any
reasoning.
Boxes, if you check no boxes, you just filled out your ballot, and they know you're an American citizen.
What about if they have a name that
matches a citizen? Doesn't matter if you.
No, what if they have a name that sounds foreign? Is that something that they're doing?
No, but if you don't check any boxes, they can pull it because you didn't check any boxes.
The odd thing is that neither side, the liberal justices and the conservative, they didn't give reasoning with their ruling.
The three liberal justices did vote against it.
I know, but nobody issued a reasoning.
Do you guys realize that what this man has done now first of all, I want you guys to remember this because it's such an offensive thing to me. So Obama had Ruth Bader Ginsburg left. Obama was president. He was like, "Oh, I get a shot now." Right? That's right. Right? She was the one who left.
She left the Earth, though. She didn't just leave willingly.
Yeah,
right?
she left the Earth.
Okay.
She left the planet. Yes, and it was it Ruth Bader Ginsburg where Obama had the shot. So Obama was supposed to name another justice. Mitch fucking McConnell came in and goes, "No, not in the last year. No. In the last year of a presidential run, you don't get to put in a Supreme Court justice." And then Trump, in his last 8 weeks, actually put in any crusty butt plug, and it was 8 weeks before he lost the election. He put in another Supreme Court justice. So again, un-American, unfair, hypocritical, and that's where the Republican Party is right now. Matt Gaetz is currently being investigated again for taking a 17-year-old girl to parties across state lines. So it's not both sides. We have evidence over and over and over again. You can point to Bob Menendez. We have one guy. Two. True. Got it. The Republicans have Jim Jordan, Josh Hawley, Ted Cruz, Steve Scalise, Lindsey Graham, Jim Jordan. All these people who flat out have flip-flopped, lied, backed up dictators and fascists, and so you don't get to say both sides because the Democrats haven't done that. I'm not saying they're perfect. Look, and Nancy Pelosi wanted her staff to be able to buy stock. Pissed me off more than anything. Yeah. But at least have the ability to be honest enough to go, yeah, one side's kind of, and if I'm going to vote with the criminals, fine, go ahead. Yeah. I respect that more than, no, they're not. It's both sides. Fuck you. It's not both sides. Go fuck yourself. It's not both sides.
I love at the rally, and then recently on all the right wing media, they're like talking about how, the left is calling us Nazis. How dare they call us Nazis? Because you're quoting the Nazis.
Because you're literally quoting stuff that the head of the Nazis said.
And we're saying, hey, you're quoting the Nazis. Are you a Nazi?
Yeah.
And then
what are you calling us Nazis for?
And then the Nazis here in this country are, on the right.
You can go to Heil.
So listen, we already have read Project 2025. They're taking the Heil road. Project 2025, he's pretending he had nothing to do with, even though he said at the Heritage Foundation luncheon that it was his. But now I think the more terrifying part is what he's saying he's going to do with RFK Jr. and Elon. So he has said that he will let RFK Jr. go wild on the food. I'm going to let him go wild on the medicines.
The brainworm guy who said
he's going to be in charge of the organizations that
leakage.
Protect
leaky
public
brain.
Health. Leaky brain.
You're going to put RFK in charge of public health. The guy who had a brainworm.
Yeah, the guy
who says leaky. Who said something causes leaky brain.
And he's like hunting bears in Central Park and raping them or something.
Wasn't it vaccine?
No, it wasn't vaccine. It was something food. It was like
no, it was Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi causes
leaky brain.
Yeah, that's
which
what he
is
said.
I remember when I was diagnosed with leaky brain. It was because my dad kept popping me in the back of the head for no reason.
And Trump said he's going to go wild on it. So more wild than he already is on everything.
RFK, they're not specific other than saying go wild on the food and the medicines. But Kennedy has compared vaccine requirements with Nazi Germany. He has claimed Anne Frank was in a better situation. He was once arrested for heroin possession.
Go wild on the medicine.
Has pushed numerous wild conspiracy theories about chemicals in the water making children gay and transgender.
Jesus Christ.
He once ate so much tuna that he got severe brain fog from mercury poisoning.
Wait, how much you got to eat a fucking
Guys,
truckload
do you
of tuna?
understand? This is not a Simpsons or a South Park episode.
Seriously,
we're dealing with a guy who's could possibly run the country. The two guys he's going to put in charge. One guy says, "I'm just going to cut everything, and we're definitely going to go through some financial hardship." And then the other guy's going to be in charge like a kegger.
Yeah, I'm going to
let him go wild on the medicine.
I'm going to get to Elon, but he said, because this is important.
Yes,
for who you vote in. RFK was caught on a video that CNN has verified. He says the key that I think that President Trump has promised me is control of all public health agencies. And then he lists them: HHS, Health and Human Services, CDC, FDA, NIH, and a few others, also the USDA, he says, which is the key to making America healthy. We've got to get rid of seed oils, and we've got to get off pesticide-intensive agriculture. So he's going to give him sweeping control over...
But that's true, but you don't put one guy in charge of all
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
How do we just get the Democrats in and do that?
Yeah, but it's like this. The clock is always right, whatever that is.
But also,
Churchill said the clock is right,
the
whatever he
clock
said.
is, yeah, 3 times a day, something like that. I remember Churchill. Please quit quoting me. Here's the thing. So the seed oils are horrible. They're health-wise. Mm-hmm. But do you think with Trump's corporate ties, he's gonna get into, and then all of a sudden they're going to tell all these food manufacturers, these worldwide food manufacturers, you can't use seed oils anymore and make them stop with all the money they give them? Are you kidding? We're going to
be eating petroleum-based everything.
Bullshit. Yeah, exactly, man. Might as well just use a Frisbee as a plate and then eat it.
So Elon, he said we said, he was going to be in charge of the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, which is also the name of Musk's cryptocurrency. Elon Musk, obviously, we know all the things about him, anti-Semitic things he's been pushing, musing about how women shouldn't vote, just being cute, joking about Kamala being assassinated.
And impregnating Taylor Swift.
He has also been talking to Putin.
Yes, we found that out, guys. So all you people driving Teslas right now who actually...
I'm driving a Nazi car.
Who bought the same bullshit I bought. Well, I might one too, man. And this guy, he actually has numerous conversation with Putin.
Yes.
Now, just to be clear, okay, so he talks to Putin, except he's got top secret fucking classified information with NASA because he's got contracts for our fucking space program. Yeah. So you've got a guy who's got, I think, 300 different government contracts with the U.S. NASA, plus he's got 40,000 satellites above the Earth that he actually was going to turn off for Ukraine. The government said, he was going to kill their fucking communications, which is fucking putting it, like, we've got Musk and Trump as fucking chaos agents for the Russian government. What the fuck is going on?
Musk's direct quote is, talking about our entire government and federal bureaucracy, let's start from scratch, he said on stage in Pittsburgh. That's his plan, is to start from scratch. He says his job would be focused on steep spending cuts. He says he can trim $2 trillion with the help of AI, but he'd do it in a nice way. He says a gentle touch. He would offer generous severance packages to all of the laid off government workers, while at the same time proposing an assessment system that threatens layoffs to any wasteful employees. Problem is that we don't spend $2 trillion on salaries for government employees. And so
isn't the entire government budget $2
Treasury
trillion?
Secretary Summer said, respectfully, I think it's idiotic, because we don't spend that much. He said only 15% of our budget is for payroll. He said what Musk has referenced is taking a look at Social Security and Medicare benefits. And if you cut that, then you could get to $2 trillion.
Which is what they want to do anyway.
They also want to cut Obamacare.
I want you to bring up Elon Musk. Let's have a discussion about Elon Musk, because he's been held up as this brilliant guy. Elon Musk stole the entire idea for Tesla from a guy named Eberhard. Eberhard invented the car, took Musk for a ride. Musk had already done PayPal. I think he'd invested in PayPal. He sold PayPal, right? He did PayPal, which is just code for a fucking online store, but okay. He did that. He got $180 million. He spent $100 on Tesla, 80 on SpaceX, and $10 million on whatever he spent. But Eberhard showed him the Tesla car. He showed him the car. Then Musk hired engineers. Musk didn't invent anything. Yeah, he didn't fucking invent anything. And in fact, I'm not sure why he got with Russia, because the reason that Musk started Tesla, or at least he said, was because I don't think the United States should have to be buying Russian rockets. Because up until Tesla, we bought Russian rockets. Yeah. and they were way more expensive. And the ones that Boeing and everybody else was making was fucking out of control spending. So Musk actually brought competition into it. It's not all bad, but he's not a space engineer. He pays guys to do this.
I don't even think
he's a good middle manager.
Yeah, exactly.
With a hair transplant and a jaw implant. But Jesus Christ, man, like this guy is not Jesus. And to put him in charge of the government, of any kind of government, a guy who basically says that every time, okay, all right, he's so government, I guess it's perfect. He said the Cybertruck was going to come out 3 years ago. It didn't.
Right.
So he said the Model X was going to come out. It didn't. Took 3 years. So I guess it's just like government. He says something's going to happen and fucking doesn't happen. So I guess he's a lot like government.
Speaking of stinky men, this episode brought to you by Mando.
Oh, I love this stuff.
Yes.
You know, I was just thinking yesterday, I have to go get some more of this stuff.
The opening line on the talking points is, "Do your balls stink?"
Yeah.
Tell us about a time that you needed Mando the most.
It's
snowboarding.
After snowboarding. 100%.
It's so cold outside, but inside all these
inside
layers
the layers of
okay.
whatever made out of old Wonder Bread bags, whatever
And you're all sealed up in there.
whatever the
Dutch oven in there.
just the funk that fills my ski suit.
So Mando is
or
a
my
whole body
snow
deodorant, we should say. You can put it everywhere, actually, in all your special
Why does Mando
places.
believe that it has to be talking about your balls all the time?
Well, I think we all know that for men, that's where there's a lot of skin-to-skin contact.
I have taught my child, my man child, that son, there's 4 places in your life that you need to take care of.
Your pits.
Your pits, your penis, your pooper, and your piggies. Those got to be clean all the time. I go, no matter what shower you do, if it's a 1-minute shower, if it's a 10-minute shower,
So
those 4
pits,
places.
balls, thigh folds, belly buttons, butt cracks, and feet. So you could put this in all those places.
Yes, exactly.
It's created by a doctor who saw that BO was being misdiagnosed and not treated. Clinically proven to block odor all day and control odor for up to 72 hours. You can get solid deodorant stick. You can get spray deodorant. They have wipes. There's all different scents, or you could go unscented. He has a 14-year-old son.
Yep. Wyatt uses it, loves it, and I love him.
Does
Yeah,
Wyatt
again,
love it,
yeah,
or
yeah.
do you love Wyatt better?
I love him more, a lot more. Well, I love him again. That's what it is.
I can't.
I wanted to kick him out before
Yep.
because he smelled like
It
he
is
did
that
not
age
live
is
in
we
there.
go skiing up at Bear Valley, and and I ski hard, and I came back to the cabin. I was using it when we first got our samples from, and I'd used it that morning, and I know by the time I get back on the other deodorant, it's like, okay,
It's gone.
well, you can kind of smell more funk than deodorant, but you can still, there's an
Yeah.
underlying thing. Mando had none of that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh
They
shit.
also make
I ca-
Lumi for women.
I came downstairs and I go, hey, that really works.
Yeah.
Yeah, you actually did. You were surprised.
You know how I know it really works is because when I pick him up at after 16 hours, after he's had phys ed and gym class in school in junior high, he still smells good.
That's
Of the
amazing.
Mando, he still smells like
He's
Mando.
gonna get a later friend first before his
Before
buddies.
his dad does.
Mando, so Wyatt started with the starter pack. Yeah, exactly. Mando's starter pack is perfect for new customers because you get all of it. You get solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, and then you can choose 2 free products of your choice, like the mini body wash and deodorant wipes. And you get free shipping. As a special offer for our listeners, new customers get $5 off a starter pack with code Titus. That equates to over 40% off of your starter pack. Use code Titus at shopmando.com. That's shopmando.com. Please let them know at the end that you heard about it from us so that they know that we're doing our dang job. Smell fresher, stay drier, boost your confidence from head to toe or balls to piggies with Mando. No, pits, package. What is it? A penis.
All of them.
Yeah, well,
Taints.
because he was little. When I taught him this, he was at the age where you're like, I need a rhyme or to alliterate this so you dumb child can understand this. And so pits, piggies, penis, pooper.
I think, privates, I think is what you said, right? I don't remember. I know it was a lot of P's and it was awkward. That's what I
For you, I'm a
remember.
man, dude. Listen, life is going to be like this. Plus, it's going to be Road Warrior pretty much in a few years.
So yes, Musk just yesterday on X, a user said if Trump wins, he said an initial severe overreaction in the economy will happen and the markets will tumble. Elon Musk tweeted back to him, sounds about right.
Okay.
This is the guy who fucking bought Twitter, killed it because the stock,
He's
stock
really
tanked,
killed it.
and now it's just a fucking shithole cesspool of
Yes,
just like
it's horrible.
conspiracy theories.
Well, I left Twitter like almost a year ago because
Yeah.
I was like, I can't deal with this anymore.
Yeah.
And then Threads is great, and Threads has a different algorithm where if you start talking mad shit, it's like that.
Yeah.
And so what happens is people are a lot mellower. You have to be smarter, and so which means you have to be if you want to go after somebody, you have to be smart about it.
Yeah.
And you have to be intelligent with your argument, and the people on Twitter can't. Just so you guys know, Musk bought Twitter for $44 billion. It is currently worth less than $9. Can we talk one more thing about Trump? With the scam? Because Trump, I told Ray, I said Trump came up with the best scam ever. DJT stock. It's on the. Okay.
Right.
There's no product. There's no product.
Yeah.
It's basically just a
brand.
It's shitty threads.
Yep.
And it doesn't make any money.
Mm-hmm.
They've actually said the first year it was in, it made $1 million. It's currently valued at like $10 billion. It's actually more than X right now.
It's a great
Now,
money laundering.
What a great idea. So let's say, so the government tracks all the money you get, right? Let me just kind of lay this out. Because when I figured it out, I was like, this is fucking
Tinfoil hat time again.
Let's go back. Tinfoil hat on. So let's say you start a stock, you get listed on the stock exchange, right? And you get enough red hats to get you enough stock to where, okay, we have an actual stock. So there's enough maggots that go, oh, I want to buy some, I love Donald Trump. I want to buy some stock. I want to buy $200 worth of stock. So let's say you get 1 million people do that. So it's $200 million. Okay. You have a company now, $200 million company.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Except the company doesn't make anything. It's just an app, and it's not a well-run app. In fact, there's no building and the doors are shut. Anyway, then you have, because you can't just get money from Saudi like Jared did, because he's getting investigated. You can't get money from Russia. You can't get money from China. But if they know you're going to be president, what a great way to invest in you and to give is go. China.
He just signed a letter of intent to build Saudi Arabia Trump Tower.
Right. So Saudi Arabia, which has trillions of dollars, it's not even trackable how much money they have. They go, we're going to put $1 billion, $2 billion into Threads. I mean, to True Social.
So it's a loophole.
And then Russia goes, we're going to invest. No, they're investing in a stock. They're just investing in a stock.
It's a side door.
It's just investing in a stock. Mm-hmm. So then Russia puts in $100 billion or $2 billion, $10 billion. Mm-hmm. So because and then so you get China, and then you got like Iran puts in $10 billion, and you got and all of a sudden the stock is worth $10 billion because there's $10 billion invested in it. Yep. Trump owns 60% of the stock. So watch, be very clear. If that stock, the day of this election, if he loses that, he's going to sell every dime he has.
Who owns 40%? Like 3 Russian oligarchs? Is that who?
Whoever does, it's like they don't care. That's the thing, is that they don't care if it tanks. They gave him the money.
Right.
Yeah.
And so basically matter. It's money laundered through the Dow.
But also Jared's,
you can't be the first guy doing
Jared's fund has made zero money, returned zero profit
charged
to its investors.
$150 million in fees.
Yes. So it's in plain sight.
Yet Elon Musk is going to fix the economic issues that we have. Oh, I see.
This episode brought to you by Create.
Again?
By Create. I didn't have a segue for that because.
Can I tell you how much stronger I'm feeling since I've been taking this? So I started taking. I take 3 of these gummies. They're
love the gummies.
Creatine gummies. I take them every day. I before or after my workout. Usually after I take them, and I have to be honest with you, I am feeling stronger, and so yesterday sometimes Fitbot will give me it'll say.
So these are creatine gummies.
Creatine gummies. So you don't have to mix it with powder. It's not crappy.
Loading phase.
Like when you do the powder, you're drinking. You're like. They're good. It's like eating 3 pieces of little candy. It's creatine. I've noticed since I've been taking them, I used to look at my Fitbot app, what I work out at, and I would be like, it would give me 35s for curls. And I was like, oh man, 30s are perfect. At 35s my form starts to go bad. 2 days ago, it gave me 40s. And I was like, no way. And I did them. I was like, what is going on? And it's since I've been taking these great gummies.
Yeah.
So I don't know if coincidence is causation, but I will say this.
No, I noticed a difference too. Also for so it's not just for dudes anymore, bodybuilders. You can be a woman looking to tone, a guy looking to bulk. bulk. You can be a sleep deprived parent that needs energy and cognitive boost. I'm definitely sleep deprived. So it's definitely helped me with that.
Well,
if you're older and you want to maintain muscle at an age where it's deteriorating or build muscle, that's what this is
Can't
for.
confirm.
No bloating, hair loss, any of that weird stuff that used to happen with the powder creatine, and kind of helps you. Like, you don't need that third cup of coffee. It's like I
Still
have
get crazy.
I have greatly enjoyed eating them too, because they taste so good.
Yeah, it's a snack.
What flavor do you have?
I think I have like a blue one, whatever the blue one is. It's amazing.
What flavor do you have? Blue.
I assume it's blueberry.
That's
but
how they serve wine on the plane, just by color.
Color.
There's
Yeah.
no
Color-coded.
brand.
I love that I would.
Blue raspberry is what you have.
Oh, see, it's blue. See, blue.
You were
Told you it's
right.
blue.
It
Blue
actually
raspberry.
is blue.
I've actually
We're
never
eating
asked.
orange right now, and
Orange is good.
that's also another color, but it's orange flavored
Yep.
as well. They have watermelon, sour green apple. Also tried those already. Can confirm those are awesome. So you can get 30% off any subscription or a one-time purchase of Create 90 count bags by going to trycreate.co/Titus. So that's trycreate.co/Titus for 30% off of your order. It's pretty awesome.
It works.
And you can travel with them.
Well,
It's
also,
easier
what
to throw in a
it's-
baggie.
Yeah, what a great, the powder. Like if you put the powder in your bag to travel, it's going to get spilled. It's just you be a Ziploc bag full of 20 gummies, have 3 a day
Yep.
while you're on the road. It
Improvement
works.
to but you can't see it, but it's happening. Improvement to bone density. It's like
Isn't creatine?
intercedes in muscle deterioration.
But isn't
as you
creatine one of those
age.
most studied
Yes.
supplements? It's like it's legit, right?
Yeah.
Because I remember thinking it was just real because there's a lot of stuff that isn't
Mm-hmm.
something root or whatever.
Yep.
But creatine has been studied and it works.
These gummies are actually NSF certified as well.
That's awesome. I don't know what's going to happen, guys, but I want you to do this. I want you to put Democrat down the right. Why? Because and then by the way, I'm not
He's
doing it
already
'cause-
saying Pennsylvania has voter fraud.
yeah, he's already saying there's no voter fraud. Nothing happened. Just so you guys know, I'm going to say this one more time. There was never any voter fraud. There was 60 plus cases brought forward. He's never brought one page of evidence. Every interview he says we have pages, hundreds
Rogan
of pages
did
of
ask
evidence.
him, right?
Rogan asked him and he said, we have hundreds of pages. And Rogan said, why haven't you showed any of that evidence? Because we're waiting for the right time. Fuck you. Go fuck yourself. Let me be very clear. There is no evidence of voter fraud. As a matter of fact, remember, he paid a company called Cyber Ninjas to recount Arizona. Yep. They spent 5 months recounting every ballot. And you know what they found? 400 more votes for Biden. So do me a favor. Live in reality. Now, if you want to live in reality, I'm going to tell you something about the Democrats. And the reason I'm a Democrat now, I think people that he's so liberal, so woke. Nope. Every year the Democrats have run it, the economy's done better. People's wages have gone up. Unions have gotten stronger. You and me, the people that are down there busting their ass trying to start a small business, do better. Do you know who does worse under Democrats? Billionaires. Do you know who does great under Republicans? Billionaires. So you decide what you want. And trickle down didn't work. They did a 50-year study on trickle down economics. It came out of England, out of Oxford. They found that in the 50 years of trickle-down economics, the only thing that happened was the income changed. That means people that were worth $4 billion are now worth $8 billion. And the people that were worth $400,000 are now worth $200,000. That's what trickle-down economics did. So when you guys sit there and go, I'm a Republican, unless you're making $1 million a year, you're silly. You're just ridiculous. You don't get it. They don't represent you. Really, a billionaire. Really, a fake billionaire whose daddy gave him, that's the guy. That's your guy. Cool. I'll take the girl that worked at McDonald's.
That's what Elon Musk is really saying, is that if Trump gets in office, this whole Republican grift and the middle class is going to take the hit.
Yep.
Even worse than it is now.
Yep.
It's not going to bounce back.
Nope.
It's just going to be worse, worse version of what Republicans have been doing throughout history.
Right.
In fact, we have a plan to improve the economy. We've done it here in this country
It's
before.
worked for 4 years. No, it worked. No, Biden-Harris. It worked for 4 years.
Yes, it is working now.
We had no recession. People kept talking about recession. We'd never had one. They kept saying recession's coming. Oh, economy's booming. Do you guys know it came out today that the average growth for Biden for the last 4 years has been 2.8%. Now, they were expecting 3.1. At the peak, when it was growing like crazy, it was 5.1%. And you know why eggs are expensive? Because the avian flu fucking knocked out about 13 million chickens. That's why. They had to kill them. They had to slaughter everything because they had the avian flu. So, it's bullshit. And the economy in the last 4 years has just kept going. The average every month, 2.9%, 2.8, 2.9%. And we've added 200 and something thousand jobs every month for 4 years. And he's right. I love when Biden said that. I've been talking about it. People kept talking, Trump's economy was great. Well, America is a giant fucking ship. You can't just turn it. So you guys forget that Obama, a Democrat, took over from W, who crashed the economy with the mortgage crash. Fucking crashed it. Do you guys remember that? I was driving down Ventura and it was just four lease. Everything was over. I kept telling Ray, I remember when it was happening, I go, Ray, shit's about to get really ugly. And it did. He saved Chrysler and General Motors. He turned the entire economy around. When at the peak of the financial crisis, unemployment was fucking 12%, and it was 17% minority unemployment. When Biden left, it was so when Obama left, it was 3.6%, and a minority unemployment was 7.8%. And everybody goes, it's Trump's economy. No, he was like, here, man, I fixed it. Take it. And he fucked it up in 2 years. Put tariffs on those farmers. Do you know we had suicide rates of farmers went up like 20%. Bankruptcies for farmers went up 24%. They lost all their contracts with China because he put those tariffs on. And so when you guys keep talking, economy sucked, fuck off. There's not a metric. There is not a number that says the economy was off. So do me a favor. Open your computers, open your phones, and do some research. Quit whining because Fox News lied to you. Wake up. Think critically.
I'm looking.
I know.
I'm doing it.
I'm getting the look. I'm getting the look.
Said open your phone and do some research.
Guys, we're going to be
4 years ago.
We're going to go to Timonium, Magoobies and Timonium.
Friday, Saturday.
The pandemonium and Timonium last time.
Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday, Arlington, one show only. Arlington Draft House. The very next weekend, Friday, Saturday, Columbus, Ohio, Funny Bone. We love that club.
Doing an all new show called.
And then that Sunday, Lexington Comedy Off Broadway, one show only.
I'm doing a new show called Doomed to Repeat. I'm adding some new material every night now, and it's building. I've got about 50 minutes of new stuff, and then I'll do a little bit of Karen Monsters, which is in the can. We're selling it now. But guys, do me a favor, come to the shows. This show is not political in the way you think it is. I found out that my family's been in America for 400 years, which is really cool. And I found out that we've done absolutely nothing. So,
and you're going to apologize.
I'm going to
with Biden.
There's some, man, the further I dig in, the more it's perfect for a comedian, because the further I dug into my history and all these characters that, my 10th great grandfather was here in 1635. And the further I dig in, Tituses have never really been go-getters. I am the most successful Titus, and I have a podcast. That's frightening. Guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Do me a favor, vote. And here's the problem. If you vote half and half, what ends up happening is we have the same gridlock we have now. I'll tell you this. Vote Democrat. We've shown that they can get it together. The last 4 years, they turned the country around after the biggest fuck up we ever had. So if you vote Democrat, give them 4 years. Give them 4 years. Some guy wrote to me on one of the comments today. I was looking at the YouTube channel, which is Christopher Titus TV. Go check our stuff out. And the guy said, I am willing to take my chance with Kamala Harris after seeing what a travesty Donald Trump was for this country. That's in one of the comments. So take a chance. In 4 years, she can't listen. She can't buck it up as bad as Trump did. So let's go with that. Give it a shot and get enough people in the House and the Senate so we can actually get something done. And then again, like everybody,
that's key. We need
the House and the Senate so we can actually get this stuff passed. Yeah. Do you guys know that Mike Johnson's House of Representatives has passed have done the least work of any Congress in American history?
It's not a surprise.
I think the most terrifying thing that we didn't talk about before we go is that at Madison Square Gardens, that wonderful Nazi cosplay that they did.
Yeah.
Trump said that Mike Johnson and we have a little secret. We have a little secret talking about what might happen after the election. We have a secret.
So
he said it.
Yeah, he said it out loud. He goes, Johnson and I have a secret. And so the only way the election get thrown is if Mike Johnson, because he's the Speaker of the House, he can actually put forward new rules. Yes. So if he puts forward new rules that says they don't have to certify the election or they have to wait 30 days or whatever, he's going to throw the country into chaos. If chaos happens, although someone pointed, there was a guy that said this, which I was watching one of the shows, and he said, well, he goes, that can happen. He said, but we've put 1,000 people in jail for what they did on January 6th, over 1,000 people. He goes, so if you're going to be part of that, you've seen a consequence now. The guy from Bob's Burgers got put in. Like one of the voiceover actors from that cartoon, Bob's Burgers, is doing a year in prison.
Huh.
I know, but Trump's going to pardon all of them.
As I said, he should have just kept drinking the baby blood like the rest of us. Guys, do me a favor, go to Timonium, and then we're going to see you at the Arlington Draft House. We're on the road a lot this year. This new show, this is my favorite time because I get to build a new show. And here's the thing. So we did. Can we talk about it last week? Last week we did Sacramento, and it was great. And then we did
Roosters.
Oh, we did Rooster Teeth Feathers, my old stomping ground where I started. And here's the weirdest thing. So my son Jet has started doing stand-up comedy. So Rachel, because she's kind-hearted, goes, well, she's seen him do enough comedy. He can open for us. He can do 10 minutes, whatever. So I'm like, oh, cool. I call him Jet. Jet's cool. He did Sacramento, and there was a moment. Now you got to remember, Rooster Teeth Feathers is a club that used to be called the Country Store. I worked there literally 38, 39 years ago when I started comedy. I got to work with Dana Carvey that long ago. And we're back. They don't even here's how small the club is. It's like 170 seats, 180 seats. Mm-hmm.
I love those.
And we're in the back. They don't even have a green room. They have a pergola out behind the club in the parking lot.
Bring a jacket.
With a fence between you and the parking lot. There's literally in the green room or the green outside.
It's not even a fence, it's just like a lattice divider.
No, that's a real fence, but there's still parking stuff where like between the parking lot where the parking lot was. So I'm sitting there and I'm in a chair and we're out back, and I look up and my son is pacing. There's a thing behind an area where I used to pace.
Oh my God.
He's doing his new material, doing his head, practicing. And I was like, and I got up and I go, dude, do you know that 38 years ago I stood where you're standing and paced?
He's doomed to repeat.
Material. It's crazy. I think we're in a fucking simulation. This is a simulation.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Somebody hit the reset button because this is a new guy. We got a new player, and he did great. He did great there, and he did. I think Sacramento. We had the Crest Theater. He was a little freaked out. When you say he's a little freaked out,
he was terrified.
He was terrified, but he did his job.
He
did his job, and then and Bombshell was great. But what I love about working on a new show is that this girl, once I get it done, she doesn't watch it anymore. But when I'm working on it, she'll go out and watch it. And I get off stage, and we get in the truck, and here's my heart. She goes, "You really made me laugh tonight with some of that new stuff." And I was like, "Oh, I got to pull over. Why? Because I can't see. I can't see.
And that's why I do it.
I cannot see the driving. That's why I do it." Guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Do me a favor. Go vote. Listen, whether you vote for Kamala or not, just go vote. Do your job as an American. Be American. Do not be un-American, because you know what? I believe it's kind of un-American to not vote, especially now with what we know that what can happen after the pandemic. I think you should vote. And now we got to do. Okay, because we're close to the election. Do you have 4 years? What do you have? Okay, 4 years ago today. Or as Winston Churchill said, 48 months ago today.
Was bollocks.
The quote. It was bollocks. I don't believe it. Yeah, 4 years ago.
We can blame this all on Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey, because 4 years ago today, Twitter banned all political ads. No. Quote, while internet advertising is incredibly powerful and very effective for commercial advertisers, that power brings significant risks to politics, where it can be used to influence votes to affect the lives of millions. Therefore, Twitter's policy, we are going to ban all political advertisements, which led to Elon Musk buying it so that he could use it for political propaganda.
Free speech.
He banned Robert De Niro for life from X because he's all about free speech.
Was that after the courthouse appearance thing?
Yeah.
Wow.
Space Elmo.
People were violating Twitter's policies. That's why they were getting...
Right. So he called it free speech.
Yeah.
And then he banned Robert De Niro once he had it. And once he was in charge of the free speech.
Didn't Taylor Swift get banned too?
Yes.
Trump Trump's campaign accused Twitter of trying to, quote, silence conservatives, when really they were just screaming Nazi shit that you can't say on the web.
Did I say someone called him Sissy SpaceX?
It's good. Love that.
That's really good.
Sissy SpaceX is so good.
They thought of it and they were like,
that's
this
not
is
mine.
the shit.
I got it. Yeah.
That's
You got to
awesome.
patent it, Sissy SpaceX.
Who was it?
I don't know. It was just. That's what's great about what I do love about Threads and some of this online stuff is that they're not comedians, but everybody has a sense of humor, and sometimes people just get this grain of brilliance. I was thinking of a joke I wrote for Amerigeddon, which I just put out. By the way, it's on Threads if you guys want to watch it. And go to the Christopher Titus TV, and you can see all my comedy specials up there. One of the jokes was when Hillary and Trump were running, because Amerigeddon is literally like a prophecy of what was going to happen and what happened. He said, when Trump got elected, I said, you didn't want a vagina in the White House, so you voted for the other side of the taint. And
that was a great joke.
Oh, it's one of those.
It's one of those you're like, I surprised myself.
It's actually, it's distilled. It's good. It's good. So, all right, guys.
This time,
Biden administration.
2
years into the Biden administration.
2 years in the Biden administration, right?
The United Auto Workers and General Motors reaches a tentative deal to end the union strike. Where this is where Biden was.
Biden, first president to walk the picket line.
Yep, walk the picket line.
That's what I mean. Biden backs you up.
Exactly. Biden said, I think it's great. It's no joke.
Listen up. And let me tell you.
And by the way.
Dana Carvey does a great.
I love Carvey.
Carvey unlocked it. So he walked the picket line and he basically got the strike settled.
Yep.
Yeah. And he brought the union. He made unions again. You know, over the years, Reagan started to dismantle the unions, and people the unions, I will say this, in the 70s got really fat. Like there was a point with the United Auto Workers. My aunt was working in the plant, and she said guys were going up in the rafters of the Fremont plant where Tesla is now, and they had mattresses up there, and they were getting $70 an hour in the 70s with benefits and stuff, and they were just burning it. So there's a responsibility. You know, if you're gonna bust your ass, you know, and if you're gonna get the benefits, I think that's what I wish we had back.
The tax rate of the 70s, because that was when
that, but also that we all gave a shit about each other, and you thought of other people. Like on the road now, nobody thinks, you know, in the store, everyone's just fucking shoulder chucking out of the way. I wish we just gave a shit about each other again. Yeah. That would be, and I'm talking everybody. You know, I was thinking of doing a thing called a hood, like I was going to do, like, I didn't know what to call it, but I was going to give a letter and give it to get 20 houses, 10 on either side, and then 10 across, and then 20 across the street, and build a neighborhood again. Because I was just thinking, we've fucked ourselves. We've become so isolated with our devices and our TVs and our homes and our alarms, and that I don't know my neighbors.
Well, the Republican ticket is just division. And then the Harris-Walz ticket is, she just said the other day, she's going to be the president for all of us, right, and unify the country again.
But we have to, she's not going to do it. This little 5'4" prosecutor is not going to unite the country. She will, and she'll do her best, but we have to get involved in it. Sure. Like you have to be like, hey, what's up, man? I need my neighbors. Like our neighbor next door is a really hardcore righty, and his trees are growing over our yard. I got to go talk to him, and I just want him to know. Someone said something recently. They were talking about is Jordan Klepper was on being interviewed. I think it was on MSNBC yesterday, and they said they took this hardcore Trumper to a Harris rally, and he goes, it didn't change his mind. He's still going to vote for Trump, but what happened is that he got to realize that they're not baby blood drinking pedophiles. Right. They're people just like me who have beliefs and they love their families. And we have to remember that. As much shit as I talk, I would much rather be Romney and Obama during that debate. They
didn't agree, but they were still friendly.
Yeah, how's your family? Yeah, how's everything going? You know, and I'd much rather be that than where we are now. So
unless you're a Nazi. Okay,
that's what I'm saying. We got to get through this Nazi. We're in a fucking Nazi time. We got to get through these. Once we get rid of these guys, if Harris wins, by the way, it still makes it okay for Trump to run again. Do you know that? I don't think he will. It's hard to be. He can run from prison, but I think get ready for some more shit, some Russian shit. Get ready for some grids to shut down. Get ready for some shit to happen this next week. I'm saying it could happen. But do me a favor. Don't worry about who your neighbor is voting for. Remember, he's your neighbor first. All right? Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. For myself, the lovely Bombshell Ray and the Highlander. For myself, I'm Christopher Titus. Later.
Peace out.
Peace out. I'm Ken Highland.
Wait, what happened?
What? You said your
Wait,
full
all right,
name.
all right,
I don't know.
all right.
It was weird.
For myself. You're right. It was weird. I got really sappy, especially after the Armageddon
You
update.
reintroduced
Jesus
yourself?
Christ. After the Armageddon update, that's how I end it? What happened? You know, it's good. It's a character arc is what it is.
Yeah. There's still
For
rubble laying
myself,
around.
the lovely Bombshell Ray on the Highlander. Later.
Peace out.
There could be only one.